Kelly remake. Remake.
Welcome, folks, to another edition of the Stack with Nat show. This is our 2015 18th year of electric football. 18th of Philly electric football. Our second season together doing this show. I've known Nat for maybe, 15 years now. We met, at least. Met once I got back. Stack was already in the league. I found it a little after them guys and got back in. We hit it off. We got this show. People love it. I love it. It's going. Folks, we're going to hit right into the AFC East division. Stack and McGee, the teams. You got Damon Lucas, the Jets. You got Jerry Fulton, the Patriots. Steve Toth, the Dolphins. Kern Robinson, the Bills. That division has been up and down. You've been following on Facebook. We got our little division talk, chat on it. Stack, we'll get to hear your words. Who you got in that division?
Pretty easy for me. I'm not going to give you a whole lot of hyperbole. I like Jets with Damon. I'll go with Kern, Buffalo Bills.
To finish second.
Yeah, and then I'll go with Steve Toth, number 3. You've been hyping him pretty good. And I'm going to have to go with Jerry Lots. I don't know if he's committed. And, I haven't seen him much in the preseason. I know he's got a good-looking team. But Steve is committed. He's got a lot of backing back in Harrisburg. You heard my rankings. That's where I'll go, AFC East.
Right. I'll, too, will go with Damon Lucas to win that division with the Jets coming from the Great Lakes. Folks, this guy is flying in from Detroit to play in our league.
He'll be here opening week.
He'll be here opening week. I got to, hats off to his level of commitment. It's unbelievable. Steve Toff's coming from pretty far away, coming from Allentown, Pennsylvania, which is about an hour and a half ride. I got Damon Lucas.
Who's your number 2?
I got Steve Toff.
Wow, that high.
Yes. And then I got Jerry Fulton. And I think Kern will bring up the rear in that division.
Bring up the rear?
Bring up the rear, Kern.
He's a veteran.
I don't know. I can't say if Kern's going to come back with the type of level of commitment that it takes.
Not here to
argue.
win the
division.
I mean, we're almost 3 minutes in.
Oh, hey, I mean, the division.
But definitely, I think we're in consensus mode that the Jets will take it.
Right. Damon Lucas was the Patriots. Yeah, that's pretty much. Well, that division has a tough schedule. It's not an easy schedule. Damon's going to outside the conference, exactly.
Wow.
Damon's going to take some lumps. I mean, I seen his opening weekend of games.
That mean it's going to get ruffled.
He said that's what he wanted. He had an easy run of it last year, and he breezed through it. This year, he's got a target on his back. People know he can play, he can pass. I think he's got a target on his back. It's going to be kind of, it's going to be interesting. Right, Steve, I think, might sneak through the holes.
You don't get this in a magazine. You won't get this anywhere. We're going to go through all 8 divisions.
All 8 divisions.
You just heard the AFC East. We're early in the season. We haven't played a game yet. You heard it. Book it.
Book it. So we're in agreement with Damon and the Jets winning the AFC
2, 3,
East.
4, we're wildly divergent.
Right. We are. But the winner, we got the same. Folks, that's the Stack with Nat show, AFC East prediction. You heard it here. Stack, where we at? Johnny's Fine Italian Restaurant. And on a Sunday night, folks, doing it for you.
We don't get paid for this.
My wallet, I don't see a paycheck.
Just as
a labor of love.
A disclaimer, we've had a few drinks in us. But that hasn't clouded our vision.
Our judgment. Right,
Corey's got paper.
Right.
And I got mine on the iPad. We've been going over this for a couple weeks.
That's right. Got the iPad. We got
There's
the
evidence.
There's evidence.
This isn't just flying off the seat of our pants.
Folks, like I say, follow us. Our league is on Facebook, Instagram,
We're doing
everything.
good.
We're doing good. Stack, I think that's a wrap for the AFC East. That's a wrap for the AFC East. Folks, we're going to keep it going. Thank you. Folks, welcome back. This is the Stack with Nat show. I'm National. This is my man Smokestack. We're going to go over season 18.
2015.
We're going to go over the AFC North Division. Used to be called the Black and Blue. Was that the Black and... No, it wasn't the Black and Blue. North NFC North, right.
But you can call it the Black.
We will. You know, we will.
Right.
But this is the AFC Division North of electric football.
Super Bowl hasn't even been played yet. We haven't even started NEFL or NEFL. We're here as a labor of love to give you the power rankings, how we see things, outside of Facebook, outside of emails. This is the real deal. So stick with us, folks. Enjoy.
Enjoy. Folks, as you all know, football fans alike, you don't have to be an electric football fan. AFC North, Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, Browns. All good teams. Life imitates art sometime, or art imitates life. This division is so true to the NFL. It's just tough.
Dogfight.
Every guy in this division has won something and has appeared in the
worn the mantle, has carried the crown.
Right. They have appeared in the NFL Super Bowl.
That's it. You go first this time. Hold it
all right. The division I'm going to take to win it, I'm going to go with a bit of an upset. I'm going to go with Tom Johnson to win it. Tom's a former NFL Super Bowl champion. I got Tom Johnson. I'm going to say Tom's going to win it. Norris is going to finish in second, followed by Norris is with the Bengals. Third place, Ernie Grice in Pittsburgh. And bringing in the rear, the guy that used to win it all the time, Glenn Phoenix and the Ravens. That's the way I see it. I think Tom, that's a big... Tom didn't play that good last year, but I think Tom...
Some of you may not even know Tom. Some will be wondering, who's this guy that, we talk about Super Bowls and winning divisions and what he did in the BEFL, but you're hearing it from a veteran coach like Corey.
I got Tom winning. Okay. Stack, what you got?
All right. I'm going to concur with you on Mr. Johnson, although I'm still leaving. This is still kind of not etched in stone, but I'm going to go with winning the division, Tom Johnson. Number 2, another returning coach. Didn't play last year. I'm going to go with Glenn Phoenix. Number 3, and some would argue it's a little low, I'm going to go with Ernie Grice. And number 4, we really should get a lot of pushback on this because I think he's a great coach. I'm going to go with Norris McCraw. Right. And that's my top 4 for the AFC North.
I like that thing. Norris is a great coach. His passing lacks, he's got to open up his passing game because he has a great run game, great strong line.
Right. Play 60 minutes. Guys, special teams, defense. You're gonna have a great offense.
He's got a great defense,
a great running game. But if you have to play defense, you got to play 60 minutes.
Right.
And that's why people are ranked a little lower.
Right. I think that division, everybody has the vertical game. They can throw the ball down, except for Norris. He has been successful with the strong running game and great defense.
He's been in Super Bowls.
Since we went to 32. Our first year, Super Bowl 10, 32 teams, Tom Johnson defeated Brian Hill. That was when he was with the Chargers. The Browns has been a bad team in NFL history.
It's like a
never
stain. You can't put a Brown franchise
We've
in there.
had one Browns team make the playoffs one time.
So we're happy to see Tom back this year.
That goes back to the 2000s
right
with our boy Abby Modge Podge Vaughn. And since the curse of him throwing the Modge Podge at the wall, exploding all over everybody's clothes, the Browns have been cursed.
Is this the year the
That
Browns
he breaks the,
We're coming up on 5 minutes.
Right. I think that Tom will break the Modge Podge curse, get the Browns in the playoffs, and win the division.
Wow. Okay.
Tom Johnson.
We did agree on that. That's the number one.
Right, as the winning the division.
Okay.
Everybody from 2, 3 to 4.
We disagree, but
right. I had Glenn
only
coming
time
in
will
last.
tell. And that's why we have the month of February in Philly and early session in Essington to prove us wrong.
All right, right. This is just two guys.
Just two drunk guys
talking to a camera. You guys got to prove us wrong.
Prove us wrong.
All right. That's the AFC North Division.
Book it, Daniel.
Book it.
Murder one.
Thanks, folks. Folks, welcome to another edition of Stack with Nat 2015, our 18th year.
Bang.
Boom. Back again in the city of brotherly love, electric football. We're going over the AFC West division. We've been giving it to you every division, in-depth breakdown.
Gritty.
Electric
in your
football.
face.
In your face.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Your turn.
AFC West. We are missing one of the greatest coaches in our generation, Adrian Baxter, the Silver Surfer.
That's right.
Had to sit out this year.
Can't have a conversation without Adrian.
No, you can't. He's the Raiders. He's sitting out. He did not win his division last year. So when you take all his fame and celebrity and all his wins, he hasn't done
black and silver.
He hasn't done it in this league. He's made it to 2 Super Bowls. He hasn't won one. So even though he's great, he's kind of human in this league.
So why are we talking about it?
Because he's
who's
Hall of
rocking the
Fame.
silver and black this year?
Got Drew Sparks stepping up.
Out of Virginia.
From Virginia.
Coming a long way.
Coming a long way. Say he's going to do it. He's going to do it.
Who's your number one?
Well, let me go through the teams. We got Kenny King, who won the division last year. San Diego Chargers. We got Harold King, his dad, the old wily vet who started this league. Kansas City Chiefs. You talk about old school. Harold is old school. He plays with the 1971 roster of the Chiefs, and he won't change.
He runs a 4-3 defense.
True.
And won't change.
The fourth and final team is not an NFL newcomer, but a new coach to that division, Mr. Darrell Brevard, who coached the Lions for 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Made a few playoffs. He switched. He's jumping over to the Broncos.
And it's Jerry Jones type money.
Mark Cuban money. Mark Cuban money.
To put a beautiful looking team.
Beautiful. Basis.
On the platform.
Everything.
Orange.
So
blue helmets.
So here we go with that division. I'm gonna say Kenny King is going to, with the Chargers, going to repeat as champion of that league. Followed by Darrell. Followed by Darrell Brevard and the Broncos.
I thought he was your boy.
Third place, I'm gonna go with Drew Sparks.
Drew.
Yep, and the Raiders. And last place, Harold's my buddy. It's like a father figure. He's gonna come in last. I think the game's passing them by.
Ugly. That is ugly.
I mean, Harold puts a lot into his team. I just think Drew Sparks. I think Drew Sparks is going to come in third in that division. Stack. I gave you what that's my opinion.
You went Kenny King.
I went Kenny King.
Darrell.
Drew. Harold.
A newcomer over a vet. Okay. Smokestack Scott. I give it to you straight. Okay.
No chaser.
I looked at this. I did my analytics.
Oh boy.
I looked at the Denver Broncos schedule, and with all due respect to all his coaches, that is a weak schedule. It's almost a cakewalk for Darrell to get into the playoffs. Not saying where he's going to go after he gets in playoffs. He is a lead pipe lock to get into the playoffs from the AFC West. Who else is going to be there with him? I don't know, but I'm telling you right now, Denver Broncos are going to be in the NEFL playoffs 2015 season. So I'm going to go with Darrell
To win the division.
to win the division, followed by Kenny King.
Chargers.
I don't have Harold as low as you do. I have him as my 20. I'm going to go with Harold King, Kansas City Chiefs. He has been making some progress, got some custom figures out there. He's not going to sit idly by and let his son and
I
Darrell
got him
get
23 on my
Okay.
power rankings.
And then, with all due respect to Drew Sparks, whether his commitment level's there, whether he's going to make it to Essington, play 7 to 9 games, come up to Philly every 3 weeks, and then finish strong at the end of the season, maybe play a few games, I don't know. And that's why I have him. He's a respected player. He's demonstrated commitment. He's been competitive everywhere I've seen him play. But this is the NEFL.
No,
NEFL.
Right.
Pronunciation, it's
Right.
NEFL. That's
NEFL,
how
right.
we derive that
That's
other
right.
league.
That's right.
This is the NEFL, and unless you're committed
I
and
love the
focused,
smell of the...
miggle in the morning. Okay? And that's what it's all about. So you've heard it. You've heard Corey's picks. You've heard mine.
That's the AFC West.
It's a tough division
It is.
without Adrian Baxton.
It is. It is. And again, we differ. He's got Darrell coming in to a new division and taking it over. I got Kenny repeating as the champ. So we're gonna see.
Well, they
It's
were
gonna
my
be interesting.
8-9 on my top 32, but like I said, the lean for Darrell was based on that soft schedule. It is a soft schedule.
I had Chargers 12th on my power rankings and Broncos 14.
But
so
if it's
I
soft
stayed
for
true.
Darrell, it's soft for the whole
Right,
division.
it's the whole division. Right, it's a few teams might change, but folks, that's the AFC West. The way Stack with Nat sees it. Thank you for viewing. Keep following us. Stay in touch with our Facebook. The Philly NFL is on Twitter, Instagram, Ustream, YouTube, you name it. You can follow us. Thanks for watching.
It's not personal.
It's not. We're here to go over the AFC South division. Really, really a good division. Stack. We got Ben Creasy Dames, the 2-time undefeated champion of the league. We have William Young Money Chalmers, who's the Jags. Creasy's the Colts. We have EF veteran Calvin Kalo Lomax. And the Texans, we're kind of up in the air about if they're going to have a coach this year. But that's the division. Those are the teams. Those are the coaches. Stack, who you got, buddy?
Well, it's actually your turn, but I'll go ahead and jump in. One cannot argue that Mr. Ben Creasy Daniel has made his mark and set the table in the NEFL over the last couple of years. A relative unknown,
Right.
who's fairly new in the hobby, he's stepped it up,
He has.
and he's
He hasn't lost.
in my
Oh my
mind,
God.
he hasn't lost in almost 3 years.
Right.
He's my number one for the AFC South.
He's going to win it.
Followed by Young Money.
William Chalmers and the Jags.
Who I rank number 7 in the top 32. Followed by Calvin Lomax, and I heard he's been making a lot of noise in the Beltsville Electric Football League. And then at this point in time, the Houston Texans being not having a coach, they would be my number 4. So those are my top teams. Again, the disclaimer: things can change.
Right.
Okay. Between the month of February.
Well, we can't change our picks. This is who we picking. The change is going to come is you, the coach, you, the team, changing actual what happens. This is our picks. This is who we think going into the
And
season.
if you're watching this tape, be it from Facebook or whatever, and you follow your hometown team, the team you grew up with, and you want to follow a team, don't do that. Take to heart a little bit what we're saying and watch the season unfold, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Right.
Okay, if you're a Texans fan right now, probably not the team you want to follow.
Right.
Mark my words, take a little bit of solace in the fact that we've been around for a while. Our rankings, we think, are solid. So
Oh,
at
yeah.
this
They're
point,
just opinions, right?
Corey, let's hear what you have to say about the AFC.
I'm not going to go much different than what you came with, buddy. It's pretty... I got the Colts as my number 1 overall in my power rankings. My number 2 team in my power rankings were the Jaguars, William Chalmers.
Wow.
Number 3, team, the Titans, was my number 15 in my power rankings. So that's a pretty top-heavy division. They have put all three teams in the playoffs before. Colts, Jags, and the Titans have all made the playoffs. So it could happen again this year. The same way Stack ranked them is the same way, I think William is going to defeat Creasy. I think he's going to be the one to break. Yes. I think he's going to break it. I think William.
They played twice.
They played twice. I think Creasy is going to take an L to William this year. Still think Creasy and the Colts will win the division. I think William will be a close second, and Lomax will be third. I'm not really sure if Lomax makes the playoffs this year.
You could have three teams. From one
they
division.
could, but this year I don't think he's going to make it. I think the AFC is pretty much stacked, especially with a couple coaches switching over.
I had Lomax 14, only 12 teams make the playoffs.
Right, I had him at 13.
Okay.
So 15. I'm sorry, I had him at 15. So I don't see him making a playoff run. But like I said, he's a veteran coach of many years in the Beltsville League, winning titles over there. He's had great seasons in the NFL.
I hear he's making noise.
Right. Albeit all regular season stuff, I just don't think he hasn't parlayed that into a playoff success.
He will be here week 1 in Philly.
Yes.
And probably in Essington.
Right.
So.
And he can change. He can change what we're putting down. Like I say, so folks, you mark it down. Colts winning that division.
Make us a believer.
Right. Stack with Nash Show, 2015, 18th year.
Welcome, Dan.
We're out of here.